Hi and good evening. Welcome to Chat to the Facebook Live series. I am Elisha Dorcas and I am your super amazing host. So I am very excited about this one. Today, we are going to be having my dear friend and brother Kelechi. He will be sharing about 10 life lessons he learned in 2022. So 10 lessons life taught me in 2022. Officially, we are starting today. Yes. So 2022, like as I earlier mentioned, there have been a lot of up and down. Plenty things happened in 2022. But in all of it, we are grateful to God. And we thank God for the gift of life. And as we look forward to an amazing 2023, it is very important for us to prepare, plan for a wonderful 2023. So as we are planning, I just feel it is also wisdom for us to also learn from the experiences of others. That was how this new series was bettered. So every day, okay, not every day, like before the end of the year, I will be engaging some of my friends on this platform where they come and they share 10 life lessons they learned in 2022. And for me, I'm just excited about it. Thank you so much. I see you. I'm really excited because I get to learn from their own experiences, how they were able to navigate through the odds, the good, the bad, all of it. So it is all about real people, real stories, and real lessons. So this is we just coming out to just share our vulnerability. And I hope as you engage with us, as you listen, as you interact, it is of great value to you, because for me, I am very excited. And I'm just open-minded, ready to learn from the life lessons of Kelechi this afternoon. Kelechi is here. Okay. Oh boy. Kelechi, so Kelechi, you need to actually download the latest version of Facebook. I don't know, but I tried adding you and that was the prompt I was getting, that you need to download the latest version of Facebook app. So please, can you do that? You can just respond on the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Or I can try again and see. Okay, thank you, please. Please, thank you. Okay, so as Pechi is actually working on that one, let me also be sharing. Okay, let's see. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Hi. Oh my. Hi, Kelechi. So good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me on board.
Thank you so much. So you're welcome to chat with G.
Thank you.
Like, yeah, so when the prompt will just come like, this person has to download the latest Facebook, I was like, oh my God. We
Yes.
had a bit of drama when we were trying to engage with Elizabeth the other day. So
Yeah.
the network was not just right. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening to our new series? Where are we going to buy? But anyway, that's just
That's the beauty of
okay.
network. Makes you make adjustments all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good to see you. I'm excited. I am so
Me
excited, and
too.
I've been looking
Feel
forward to
like
this conversation
like
because
how
it
long?
is Kelechi we are talking about. It's Kelechi Igwe in the building.
Yeah, I'm
So,
happy to be here. Thanks, D. Thanks. I see what you're doing.
oh,
So that's wonderful,
thank
wonderful stuff. Yeah.
you
And
so
thanks to
much. Okay,
everyone. I'm seeing wonderful people online, so I'm happy to be here.
thank you for honoring our invitation. So Kelechi, before we start, you could share to your field, to your page, so that your friends can also follow.
Oh,
You
I
see
can do
a
that.
button. Yes.
Let's see.
So there's a button there. You could that grants you that privilege to share.
Oh, yeah, I think I just did. Well,
Okay. You're live with Kelechi Igwe. Hey God, I'm a celebrity today. Oh. It's Kelechi I'm talking to like this. And I did not feel form. Hey, glory,
there's
glory,
nothing
hallelujah.
special. I'm just an ordinary guy, right?
Okay, Kelechi, thank you so much for coming once again to share your 10 life lessons
Yeah.
life taught you in 2022. We're excited to like for me, I for one, I'm super excited and I'm very open, ready to learn. Like I'm here to just drink from your well of wisdom this afternoon. So this is good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. So you're all welcome. So Kelechi, over to you. So start. So what is your lesson one?
All
Or
right,
you can,
before I
you can
start,
do something briefly, or if there's something you want to say before you start, so feel free. Feel free. You can share the story around the life lesson where you got that from. So feel free. So it's going to be very engaging. I mean, you know, I love stories too. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Yaga.
can you
Hope I
hear me?
pronounced that well. Yes, I can hear you. I'm
Hello?
with you. I can hear you.
For some reason, I cannot hear you.
You can't hear me?
Let's see. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Let me drop it.
Uh-oh. Is that my network or what? Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Kelechi, and I'm happy to be here, and I'll be sharing a couple of, well, Dorcas calls it life lessons. So it's basically, some things we've learned over time that has been proven, whether in our lives or in the life of others. But they are lessons I believe would help you if you apply them to your life. Yes. So I might not share lots of stories, but if I have a story backing up how I learned or how I got to know each of these lessons, sure, I'll share them. Okay.
No problem.
All right. So the first one here. Okay, before I start, I split these 10 lessons into three groups, right?
Okay.
So I have one very strong belief that there are four things that are very, very important in life. So the first one, I call it your faith. The second, family. The third, your dream, and then your legacy. So I split these 10 lessons
Come
into,
again.
well,
Let's follow you well.
just three
Come again.
aspects.
Your what?
So two of them I'm going to be sharing. That's about dreams and about legacy. Then I'm going to talk about growth before I begin. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, can
Hello,
you
you
come
there?
again? You said, I'm here. You shared it into various segments. So my question was, can you take that again? The grouping.
Yes. So I'm going to talk about growth, and I'm going to talk about dreams, and then finally talk about legacy. So growth
Okay.
and legacy are like part of the things I strongly believe are some of the most important things in life. Okay. So lesson number one. This sounds like one of the movies I watched, Legend of the Seeker. So they say lesson number one, Seeker. All right. So I said the ability to realize when you need help and the capacity to request it is not a weakness. It is strength.
Ooh. Ooh,
So
ooh, ooh,
the
that's deep.
idea is don't neglect help if you can get it, and don't reject help if you're offered it. So the idea behind this is a lot of us, well, let's not say a lot of us, me personally, since I'm sharing my story, I used to feel, I inconvenience people by asking for help. Sometimes it even looks like asking for help means I'm weak, or it means I don't know what I'm doing, or stuff like that. But the truth is, over time, I realize when you need help, you better go for it. Yeah, the goal is to get what you need to do achieved. Okay. So you don't want to be in a situation where you can get all the help you need, and then because of your ego or because of your pride or whatever, and you don't get to do what you need to do just because you feel, oh, I mean, I don't need help with this. Everyone needs help. That's just the truth.
Yes.
So that's lesson number one. All right.
I love
So
that.
lesson number two, still under growth. With order comes growth. So this quote was
Wow.
made by Sam Adeyemi. So he said life can be very confusing if you don't have direction. So if you're planning or you are aiming to grow, you need to first understand where you are so you can know where you're going. So there's this man, Sam Chand. He does a leadership training. So he says the only time you start from the top is when you're digging a hole. Okay. So it means that if you want to grow, you need to find your base first, and then it will help you to know where you're going to. Now, I mentioned one movie just before we started, The Legend of the Seeker.
Legend of the Seeker.
Lesson number one that was given to the seeker is, he said, sometimes in order to gain ground, you have to slow down. So that was like one of the very first things he said in the movie. So the idea is, if you want to move from where you are to where you're going, you need to analyze what you need to get to where you're going. So in order to gain ground, you have to slow down. You have to take some time, have some recognizance, do some reflection, know what your strengths are, what will get you to where you need to go, and then you move. Okay? That's lesson number two. Then lesson number three, I say embrace mentorship. Now, what I wrote here, it's lessons, so I wrote them down. Okay. So I say never trivialize patterns. Understudy the man who has too many positive coincidences. So sometimes we see people around us or ahead of us that they keep doing things and they keep getting good results, right? Those results might probably be what you're trying to get. So don't realize those kind of patterns you see in people's life. You see, they always get it right. They always do it, and it always works for them. And that's where you're trying to go to. The truth is, that thing you're trying to get is already somebody's reality. They're trying to make money. There's somebody already making money. They're trying to go into, you're trying to build something. There's already somebody. You know, the wisest man said there's nothing new under the sun. So there's somebody already doing what you want to do. There's somebody already having the results you want to get. So study the life of those kind of people. Do what they did. And then don't just do what they are doing. Do what they did. It's very important. Somebody once said to me, he said, if you're doing what successful people are doing now, you are too late.
Yeah.
You should do what they did that made them get to where they
are doing. This one is deep.
Yeah, so it's important we take note of those. Okay, so that's three, under growth. So I'm going to skip and run to dreams because I love talking about dreams. This is like my expertise. Okay, so the first one, I said you owe it to yourself if you're good at something to pursue it. Okay, you owe it to yourself, and not just to yourself, but to your generation, because as much as you think your life doesn't really make much impact, it's not true. There are lots of people that are looking up to you. You might feel you're not getting results. You might feel you don't have something to give. But the truth is you do have something to give. I don't believe in the philosophy that you don't have something to give. You always do. If you feel you're not successful, if you feel you're not successful, well, you know how not to be successful. You can tell people how not to be successful, right? Well, that's just a joke, bro. I mean, everybody is successful at something, right? Everybody is successful at something, and you always have something to give. If you don't have seeds to show that something is working for you. At least you have lessons to show how something did not work for you.
Walk.
Yeah. So
That
that's
is
the
wisdom.
fourth lesson. Okay. So the next one, protect your mind, protect your belief system. So what I say here is very, is a very delicate thing. Life's accomplishments can be limited just by your orientation. What you have, what you think, what you believe affects what you act on. So it's important you protect what you believe. There's this post I made one time, just generally to my friends, and I was like, my mind is currently under construction. Be careful what you say to me. Yeah, so the idea is you have to protect your mind because the truth is, they say knowledge is power, right? But the very truth is that not all knowledge is relevant to you. So there's too much exposure to the wrong kind of knowledge can distort your mindset. So you must be intentional about what kind of knowledge you go for, especially in your formative stages, the areas when you're confused, you're trying to figure out, things about your life, you're trying to make a decision that might affect the next 10, 20 years of your life. You need to be intentional about the kind of people you go to for advice, the kind of people you listen to, just because you are building your mind. So protect your mind because that's where your belief system gets formed. Okay. Yeah, so that's lesson number 5, right? Is
Yeah.
that 5 or
Yes.
6?
1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5. Yes, we are moving.
So yeah, the next one, lesson number 6. So I said, stay the course. Stay the course. Never accommodate the thought of embracing mediocrity or lack of discipline. Some of us started out real nice. You had these great plans, these ideas that kept coming into your head, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this by this time in 5 years. This is where I'm going to be. And then maybe because of some challenge, because of some, things you encounter, you begin to lower your standard. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to train yourself to apply discipline. Things are going to come around that are going to make you, rethink what you were thinking before. So I saw this video that
Yeah.
I was like on Facebook. It was about people that used to say, okay, I'm going to be a pilot. And the man is just somewhere. He's probably just washing someone's clothes or something. He was just laughing at himself. So they just did it a couple of videos showing people who had aspirations, but they ended up where they did not want to end up. Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes people, there's this saying, well, for Nigerians, somebody can be like, life no hard. Now you want blue. So that's kind of what it means basically is they are trying to say life is not supposed to be hard. You're the one giving
Yeah.
yourself too high standards. So they are trying to
Yeah.
make you reduce your standards so you don't work too hard in life. But I don't believe in that philosophy, right? That's very, very wrong.
That's not it.
You will get there because, I mean, there's somebody who has done it before. This can be done. Yeah, so that's lesson number 6. Lesson number 7.
7.
So this quote was from Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe is of blessed
Of
memory.
blessed memories.
He talks a lot about leadership. One of my number 1 persons when it comes to leadership. So he says preparation is proof of belief. It doesn't matter what you say. If you're not preparing for it, it means you don't believe in it. So your actions show what you believe in. If you believe in something, you will act in accordance to that thing you believe. So preparation is proof of belief. So there's this movie, Facing the Giants by Alex Kendrick.
Oh, that's like one of my
By the way,
favorite movies
I
of all
love
time.
movies that make sense. In fact, I can be a freak around you if I'm watching movie. We can be watching movie and I'll go get my jota. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Oh, I did that.
Okay.
Oh my God. Let me go just to sorry,
Yeah.
let me jump in here
Okay.
a little. So I remember there are like two movies I've
Mhm.
done that for. So when I was watching Facing the Giants, then I think I was an undergraduate student. A lot of things were going on. Do you know when I watched it the first time? I did not
Yeah.
say anything. I kept quiet. The second time I started again, the same night, I carried my jotter, my paper and barrel. I started writing like
Yeah.
lessons that I was gaining from that movie. And I think another movie I did that for was War Room.
Yeah.
Like I was watching War Room, I just said, no, we need to pause. Let's go and carry our jotter because there's a lot of wisdom
Yeah.
inside
Yeah.
of this movie. Please just
Mhm.
continue. So I
So
am that kind of person too. We
it's
are
very,
freaks with that
very
one.
important to be intentional about what you want for yourself. It will make you, if you're seeing things, it might be movies, it might be just somebody that passes, or it might be just a conversation you have with people and it will strike and you will learn that thing you've been trying to learn. Okay. So there's
Yeah.
this word I used to say, the greatest moments or the greatest life lessons can be done in the most unfashionable manner. Now, the
Mm,
thing is, you don't need to say, okay, this is my mentor. I want to have a session with you. I want to learn about this. The truth is, if you
yeah.
carry that mindset that this is what you want to learn about, you will somehow get to see or get to meet somebody who, through their lives or through your experiences with the person, you'll get to learn that thing you want to learn. So it might happen
Yeah.
not in a planned way, but in an unfashionable
Yeah.
manner. Okay? So that's life for you. So I said preparation is proof of belief. Preparation is the highest act of faith. So in that movie I was talking about, in Facing the Giants, a man came
Mm.
to the coach, well, I don't remember his name, and he told him that God is going to send the rain when he's ready. You've got to
Yes.
prepare your fields to receive it. So if you're waiting for rain, you need to prepare. That preparation shows that you believe that the rain will come. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
what faith is. So you have to have the faith and you have to act in accordance to that faith. Okay. So yeah, that's
Okay.
that. Then
Number
the
8.
last one. Is that
Wait, no,
it?
okay, so preparation is the highest proof of belief. Is that number 8?
I
I thought
guess that's
it was
7.
it was still tied to
Oh no,
7.
that's still 7, not 8.
Yes.
Okay.
So number 8.
Yeah, so number 8, now we're talking about legacy. Now, my
Yeah.
idea of legacy is how you impact people around you, how you impact people that will come after you, because legacy is
Mm-hmm.
what you leave behind. So you have to be intentional about what you leave behind in the minds of people, what you leave behind that shows or represents you that you were there. So first of all, I said you need to master the use of words. Words are tools. You must master how to use them, especially, well, words only happen when you're talking. So you're talking to somebody. Okay. So with words, you can construct someone's belief. With words, you can destroy someone's belief. So you need to
Wow.
be intentional about how you use words around people. Now, this brings me to about 2 things I learned sometime this year. One of the lessons I told myself, you need to get it right or make it right. Now, if you don't get it
Mm.
right the first time, make it right the second time
Second
and immediately,
time.
especially when you say words to people that you feel made them uncomfortable. The first or the most, proper way to use words is to always say words that will build people up and not to bring them down, even when you're rebuking people. Okay. But if
Yeah.
for any reason you say a word that is hurtful to somebody, always, always go back and make sure that you
You make it right.
make it right. Okay. Now, this is a very sensitive area. I once said something to, okay, yeah, I was once having a discussion with somebody and the person was like, you're better at this. And I said, yeah, I know, but you're good. So, but I thought about what I said and then I had to come back to myself and I told him, no, I'm not better than you. You are just uniquely engraced. Like you're different
Wow.
from me. You get.
Yeah.
So I had to quickly come back and then tell the person, no, don't ever allow anybody tell you they are better than you, because in reality, nobody is comparing themselves with anybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody is uniquely, you know,
Uniquely,
gifted in their own way.
uniquely
Yeah.
gifted and good.
So that's that about words. So lesson number 9. Is that 9 or 8?
Yeah.
9, 9, sorry.
No, 9. 8 is master the use of words. So lesson number 9.
So lesson number 9, I say check your ego. Don't ever justify why you did something wrong. If you attempt to justify it, you are not sorry.
Ooh.
Okay? So that word
There's no
was
need
in
for
one of
explanation.
it was in one of the meetings I had. Well, it was a word I was listening to by Miles Monroe. So he said, don't ever justify why you're wrong, because I'm sorry is I'm sorry. Just say it, and don't say it is because of this and this. Once you go
We don't
further
need the explanation.
explain, you are trying to make an excuse for yourself. You are letting your ego, come into play, which is not good. Yeah, and then for the last lesson, so I said this is about relating with people. You need to define relationships and define boundaries in relationship. Relationship with anybody, and there is no limit to how this works. You need to define boundaries with your mentors. Don't get too familiar with your mentors. So there is a Chinese saying that says, never meet your heroes. You know why? Because heroes are also humans. They have like limitations. They have, baggages too. You get to meet them, you might be like, oh, this person is just another man, and it might make you, trivialize their impact in your life. Like you
lose
lose
the essence
respect.
of that relationship.
So the respect or the honor or the way you had them in high esteem, you might lose it just because you've seen their humanity. Okay. So don't get too familiar with people who you are following or people who you feel are above you. That's one. Two might be people who, your colleague, people within your sphere. You need to define boundaries. You need to know when to honor people. You need to know when to say no. And no does not really mean you're a bad person, right? It doesn't mean you're not nice. It just means, that's what it means. It just means that at that moment you cannot afford to provide whatever it's needed at that point. So know how to say no. So there's this thing I used to say. I say human relations are very delicate matters. You try to keep people around. You try to make people feel good. You try to make yourself not harmful to people. But the truth is, until you learn how to cut off unhealthy relationships, you've not learned discipline. You need to teach yourself to
Please
when in
say that again.
relationship until you learn how to cut off unhealthy relationships, you've not learned discipline. Okay, so you need to realize when relationships around you are unhealthy, they are not helping you become the kind of person you want to be, and you're probably not helping them become the kind of person they are. So you need to cut off those kind of relationships so you have, your what do you call it, your peace of mind. It helps you to get to where you need to go. Okay, so that's that about life, and that's that about what I've learned so far. Okay, I hope it was helpful.
This is loaded. Like I said it before we actually started. I made a post and I said it is going to be like super, super insightful. Like this is explosive. This is explosive. Let me just add something to what you just said about cutting off unhealthy relationship or toxic relationship. So one of my mentors said something. She said, your destiny is not emotional. So why are you being emotional with your network, with people around you? Because sometimes we are caught in this web of you don't want to the person. You people have been friends for years. You people grew up together. Oh, we've gone through we've gone through the storms together. But at this moment, that relationship is becoming toxic, and you're all emotional when your destiny itself is not emotional. So please. And the truth is, we don't have the opportunity to choose the family we are born into. But we do have the opportunity and the right and the privilege to choose the friends and the people we want around us. So I used to tell people, there are some relationships you have no control over. It is family. So what can you do? The best way to manage such relationship, because some family relationships are actually unhealthy. So you manage it to the best of your ability. But the relationship in the office, workspace, you cannot say, I sack you. You are employed. Or I don't want to see you. I will not talk to you. But you can best manage such relationship. But there are some relationship you have total control over. So hello, why carry the baggage all around? Why carry the
that reminds me of something. There was a time I was like asking myself, what do people see me as? Like, why would people want, there's this saying that you attract the kind of person you are, right? So when you begin to see things around you or people that come around you, it tells you a lot about who you are. So if you want to attract the right kind of friends, then have the right kind of mindset. The truth is, the kind of mindset that would help you will be toxic to the kind of people that would not help you. You get So people only rally around you when they feel you are accommodative. Okay, let's say, well, something as simple as I don't drink, and then if I have friends if I allow friends around me who drink, it means I'm saying that I accept it. But if I do not accept it, then I would not give you that green light. If you do it around me, I will feel uncomfortable. You notice I'm uncomfortable, you don't want to do it again. Okay. But anything I accept, it means that I welcome it. And that's the kind of, I said to myself, don't let people form an opinion of you. Make an opinion of yourself in the minds of people. Okay. So you need at some point to ask yourself, what do people really think you are? What are your values? A leader's, what do you call it? A leader's personality might be private, but your values should not be. Your values should be public. Let people know what you think about your principles, about your belief system, and about you in person. You get? So it will help them know how to relate. Imagine, somebody can say something in your absence. Let's say they are trying to make a decision and they want to involve you. Based on your values, you've made people know. Somebody can come up and say, I know Dorcas. Dorcas is not going to, go for this kind of stuff. Okay? In your absence, somebody is making a vouching for you and saying, I know Dorcas. Dorcas will never accept this kind of thing. It means you've made your principles, your values open to the public. So people know what you accept and what you don't accept. So that's how it works.
That's really, really profound. We have plenty nuggets. A lot of nuggets are actually just popping up from this conversation. Thank you so much, Kelechi. Don't worry. We are still going to run through. Yeah. I know you shared a lot, but we are still going to do a run through of the entire thing. Just briefly, we are going to do another run through of the entire thing. Thank you so much. So it made mention of something. It said your personality can actually be private, but your values, your core values and principles, that value that guide you in life, it is an open book. So you cannot say your value is actually personal. There is no personal value. Your value is an open book. So please. So thank you so much for that. So let's just do a run through. I love number one, when you talked about the ability of accepting and seeking help. Why is it, sometimes too is pride. You don't want to ask and you are dying in silence. Oh boy, you go die, they go bury you.
Yeah, and it might not be pride, right? The truth is, I've I think personally for me, especially people who always like to help others, they find it hard to receive help themselves. You
You don't want to inconvenience others.
don't want to inconvenience others.
But
But the truth is,
you
it's
know,
very
sometimes
okay.
I think for me that is where relationship really comes in. Like when I'm at my lowest, if you are the person, if you're that person that you're always there trying to raise people up, at that rock bottom, sometimes it can be very lonely. And the
Yeah.
truth is, do you know another funny thing, Kelechi? Now that you just mentioned that, sometimes people assume that you don't even need help, that you have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Like, have you been in that
Yeah.
situation where you're actually being burned, like you are going through one of the toughest seasons of your life, and those people close to you just feel, oh, she got it covered, like she's the one, she can undo it, and whereas you really just need that help, you
Yeah.
are desperate for help, and people just assume Kelechi is a man, he has it, he can
Yeah.
handle it. Like, have you been in that situation before?
Yeah. So I think what makes those kind of situations, common is the fact that the way you present yourself, you know, goes a long way to tell how people approach you. If you present yourself as being too strong, people will think you have it all figured out. But the truth is, a lot of people that keep strong, they keep the smiley face, the
Persona.
strong face. A lot of people are going through stuff, right? So it's like you said, it's until you get close to those people, you will realize, oh, this person is really going through a lot. This person needs someone. Everybody needs someone. And the truth
Yeah.
is, even if you're successful, it's very lonely at the top. So you always need someone. Okay. So that's just it. I've had those kind of experiences, where, people keep saying, oh, this is you now. Is it not you again? Those kind of stuff.
Yes,
And then
now you,
you
now
know you
you,
are going
Kelechi, the
through stuff,
superwoman.
but people, think like you have it all figured out. But the truth is you need help at that moment. So if it's hard for you to ask for help, you need to begin to learn how to be vulnerable. Vulnerability does not mean weakness. Okay. You need to learn
Yeah.
how to be vulnerable, how to, well, there's also a gray line to it. You need to know the kind of people you can be able to release your thoughts to be,
Yeah.
discuss things that are very personal to you. Yeah. So once you discover those kind of people, don't quit, don't stop. Keep, those kind of people around you, and it will help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their relationships are really valuable. Now, still talking about one ability to seek help. There's a lot of cases of suicide. Suicide is
Mm,
now becoming very rampant. Like, you just wake up and you just say somebody just committed suicide.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that thought did not just happen at that moment when the incident happened. I think a lot of people are battling with a lot of depression, a lot of mental health issues. And
mm-hmm.
and people, this society and everything, and you just feel, oh, let me just keep it to myself. Please don't ask for help. If you know, you're already going left, your head is already spinning, just ask for help.
Yeah,
Why are you
yeah.
laughing, Kelechi?
Oh,
Yeah, it's true. Like,
yeah.
just be open, just ask for help, be vulnerable. Just the way Kelechi just mentioned, vulnerability is actually no weakness. I like
As a
that is
final
like my
thought,
lesson number 2.
yeah, on that, well, this is probably the last thing I'm going to say on that. We should all have the responsibility to, look out for each other. The truth is,
Mm-hmm.
I learned something else, this year, and that's like never make assumptions when it comes to people. If you must make
Yeah.
assumptions, then assume the best. Okay. Sometimes, there's this something happened, and I was supposed to meet someone online, and then I didn't hear from the
Mm.
person, and then I just assumed, oh, maybe he's busy, and I
Yeah.
didn't say anything. And days passed, and I got to hear from someone else later that the person actually had some kind of accident, and the person couldn't make it to our meeting. So
Wow.
my assumption was wrong. I thought like this person is very busy because I know normally he's very busy. So I just assumed,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he's busy. So, but the truth is, you need to know how to follow up on people. When you don't hear from your friend in a while, Try to call them. Don't say, oh, this person has not called me, so I won't call the person. That's a very wrong motive to have. If you think about someone, well, call the person. You stay a while and you don't hear from your friend, call the person. People are always going through stuff. Show some kind of care. Okay. So let that be responsibility for all of us. Okay.
Yeah.
And I hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So that's really powerful. At least stop assuming. Assumption is not it. Assumption is not it at all. You just think you know, whereas you don't know anything. You have zero idea about the real situation of the matter. So you talked about with order comes growth. So I will skip that a little to talking about embracing mentorship. The way you said it, I love the way you say do what they did, not only do it. Like you should not just do what they are doing right now, but also learn to do what they did. So in learning to do what they did, so it comes with a lot of intentional research, getting to know the person, understanding the person. So it is not just, oh, this is what this person is doing, and the person is already successful in Kelechi's word. So you're already late. Yes, you're already late, wanting to do what he's doing. So first of all, go and start from the beginning. In the beginning.
Yeah.
Like do what? So what do you have to say about doing what they did? Like that context. I wanted to break it down so that it is a plain something.
So there's this thing that they say that you don't really know how successful people got to where they are until they tell you, because the best you can see is at surface level. I was listening to a man, and the man was like, life is a process of preparation and performance. What you're seeing now is performance of people. So if you want to really know what got them to where they are, you need to go find out how they started. The truth is, well, some people don't really know they're going to be successful, right? They tried a lot of things and failed at a lot of things. You are only seeing the successful one. They won't tell you about nobody talks about their failure until you ask them. So you don't idolize people and be like, this person got it all right, at first. Because the truth is until they are successful, they will not tell you 7 keys to be successful. Nobody tell you. This is what
you need to also discover how they uncover the keys.
Thank you.
Like the process to uncovering the keys.
Thank you. So you need to. Yeah, go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Yes.
No, go
ahead. So I was gonna say
you are my guest.
You need to really do your homework and see what made people get to where. Sometimes they didn't even know that thing they were doing is what will get them to where they are. And today they are successful, and they're writing books about it. I mean, that's why one of the things I like reading about are people's failures, like from their biographies. I mean, you're successful, we can see that, but what happened like in between? Because that's what we can relate with. I'm failing at a lot of things, okay? So it's making me feel, oh, am I going to be successful at something tomorrow? I don't need you to tell me about all the successes you've had. Tell me about the failures, because it's what you did when you were failing that actually shows strength. That actually I can relate to it and say, oh, this person failed at this spot and then he was able to bounce back. Okay, it means since I'm failing in this spot, I can do what he did that helped. I mean, what he did is just a way. It might not really be the general way that makes things work, but if he did that thing and it helped him get to where he is, I mean, it's a proven way. I can try to follow that way, or I can adjust based on my own personal experience and still get the kind of result I want. Okay, so yeah.
Thank you. So, thank you so much. One of my strong beliefs is I love your success. I celebrate your success, but most importantly, I celebrate your scars. For me, your scars of honor, those your scars of honor tell the true story, tell the process story, like how you fell, and the ability for the fact that you failed at something, you were on the ground and you were able to come up, still navigate the odd and be where you are. That is what really makes the that's what really makes the story, not the flashy success we see, not the fine suits, not the cars,
Yeah.
not the buildings. What is the true story? Because just as you mentioned, that is what we can relate with. And at every phase, like at every phase of your life, you could easily say, oh, this person, this person also had it odd. And this is now your success become like an encourager, a motivator. Like, okay, this person was able to pick up the pieces of his or her past, and this is where this person is, so I can actually run with it. Thank you, Kelechi. So,
Thank you.
Kelechi. Last time you should say, I'm thinking something. Then we will see. We will discuss it off camera.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about protecting your mind. When you talk about protecting your mind, that was one very powerful word. So let me ask, so what ways? Now somebody's like, okay, it's good, we should protect our minds. Your mind make up your belief system. So what ways can you actually protect your mind in the world that we are today, that you just come online, that you want to come and say something on social media and you just see plenty things? Conceived informations are everywhere. The one that are going to demotivate you or motivate, everything it just mixed together. So what will you advise someone that, oh, I don't know, so how can I protect my mind? So what are your thoughts about that?
I think the first thing is to be intentional about building your environment. The truth is, so there's this thing I used to say, don't keep it around if you're not planning to use it. Okay. So anything you don't want around you, you don't want to keep, anything you don't want to affect you, you don't want to keep that kind of thing around you. Say I'm struggling with a weakness and I'm trying to learn how to overcome that weakness. Now, if that weakness is stealing, I don't want to see myself in a place where, people keep their things wrongly. Or I don't know, like the kind of environment you find yourself goes a long way to, affect you. So you don't want to be in a situation that appeals to your weakness. That's, stuff that affects, you are vulnerable to. So you need to be intentional about building your environment. And then secondly, you need to build interest in something. Sometimes it might not really be the easiest way. Now, this is what I mean. The facilitator of TED Talks, TED Talks, he said learning is remembering what you're interested in. Okay? Wow. Learning is remembering what you're interested in. So there are lots of knowledge going around, but not all are of interest to you. That's why, like some of us do courses and we don't remember what was taught in those courses. We were never interested in those courses. That's why I mean, if you ask
I
me
agree
something
with you
about
totally.
it and I don't remember, it means I was never interested in it. Okay. So you need to use your interest to find the kind of knowledge you need. So there is this thing called the reticular articulating system. Now, what that thing is I bought a pen, okay? I didn't used to notice this pen on people's hands until I bought this pen. And then now, everywhere I go, it's like I'm seeing that pen in people's hands. That happens with phone too.
Yes.
You get a new phone. I mean, you didn't used to notice until you bought this one, and then all of a sudden you're seeing people that have that kind of phone around you. Okay, that's your reticular articulating system. It's like it now knows how to recognize things that are related to you. Okay. So it happens the same way with knowledge. So you're seeing based on what you're interested in, you can see, I mean, those kind of things don't pass you by. That was what I mean. Because your mind is active looking for a specific kind of information. You go online, if that information, it's just like on your Facebook page. I was trying to do a program on growth. So I was looking around Facebook, and then when I saw a post you made about growth on your wall, I mean, I was scrolling, but when I saw growth, I stopped. That's my particular articulation system, right? Yeah. It's already programmed to look for something. And then when I saw it, I stopped. So that's the same thing that works with building your belief system. I'm trying to learn how to be disciplined. What my mind will be looking for are stories about people who show discipline. It's people who I feel among my network of friends who are disciplined. That's the kind of people that, my mind will go to. And that goes a long way to build your profile too, because well, I'm digressing a bit. One of the ways you know what you are most, what your strengths are is what comes to people's minds when they, what makes
you.
people mention you. They might be like, oh, we're trying to organize a program. We need somebody to facilitate this program. We need a good moderator. Somebody comes to your mind. You say, oh, this person is a very good moderator. There is something that made that person think about you. Okay.
Yeah.
You have formed an opinion of yourself in that person's mind. Okay. So yeah, that's the same thing that happens with building your belief system. There are people you know that can help you with what you need at this point. So you don't want to find yourself in the wrong place, because you're trying to build yourself, right? You're trying to avoid, I don't know why I keep going back to talking about drinking, right? Well, it's one of the very simple things. You're trying to stop drinking. You don't want to find yourself among friends who drink. You don't want to get yourself invited to a party where they drink. So at that moment, you're being jealous about where you find yourself, because what might happen at that moment can help build your belief. Okay? Especially when you don't know what you're doing, when you're confused, you want the right opinion for something. You don't want to find yourself meeting people who can give you the wrong advice. People can sincerely give you the wrong advice. That happens. They might feel,
wait. That's tough. Like sincerely give you the wrong advice.
Sincere, but they are sincerely wrong, because people only say what they know, right? So you don't want to find yourself listening to somebody who, and some people are very charismatic. They can, shout very loud, be very convincing, but they are saying the wrong thing. So
like when you're confidently saying rubbish with boldness.
Yeah. So that happens. So you need to be intentional. Look for the right kind of people. And one of the ways is you know that somebody is telling you the right thing. The person has proven it over and over, and it works. Okay. So that's how one of the ways you identify people who, have the right information.
Oh, thank you so much. Like Kelechi. let me know how to eat. Let me just
We're
leave
all
it
learning,
there.
right?
Thank you.
So it's a learning, it's lesson.
Like the
I'm
key,
with my pen. I'm ready to write. Whatever I learn.
No, I'm here to write. I'm here to draw from you. I'm the one writing for you. So, like the key to protecting one's mind, intentionality, like that is one word that keeps popping up as you were talking. You need to be intentional. You need to be intentional. So intentionality is like the key. Yeah. So let's move to 7. You talked about your action shows what you believe. So when you were talking, like I just remember this story. So let me share. And you know one funny thing, I don't even know this person directly. I know this person's friend, and he used to stay in Ajegule. So if you are going to this style, you're listening to Samade, I mean something will just one day something will just your head will just go. So I don't know. Yeah, so one of those days, he just woke up and said he wanted to start acting his future, like the way he dressed. Like imagine when you're intentional, like he went, he bought a table, he created like an office space in their house. And when you want to meet him, you say you should book appointment with his younger sister. His younger sister became his PA. Like it was funny. When his friends come and he's like, no, like his time is scheduled, he knows what to do. Like he became very intentional about his time management and everything. Like imagine he will dress up. Then they were still at Ajegule. And when he started, he will dress up, he will carry, he wear his suit and everything. Like he wanted to dress the way he wants to, like what his future look like. And this thing is started like a joke. he sat down, he was able to come up with programs that was helping youth in Ajegule, and that program became like a very big program. Gradually, it's not like a leadership consultant today.
Wow.
Like when he started, and when he was telling me, when he's like, "Mo, we go to this," I said, no, I don't have time for that. Like, it became something that they were not used to, something that was strange because they didn't see it coming. Like, how would somebody just wake up and turn 360 degrees? But for me, when she was sharing that story, I did not see it as though it just turned one day. It was a process. Like, seed has been sown. Like, he was always listening to his mentor, he was reading books, his mind was already forming, and the day for expression came. I'm like, no, I don't belong here, I don't look like this environment. I need to start acting, like I need to start working towards the future I believe in. And it became very, very intentional. Like when they said he made his younger sister his PA, that one busts my head. I was like, are you joking? Like, you say when you want to come and meet him, you say you should book an appointment with his sister. Like all of those things. So preparing, trying to form your mind, your personal development, your growth system, like systems you put in place to help you grow. All of those things. You might not really see the results at an instant, but something is actually building on your inside. So that is something I do believe. So when you talked about your action shows what you believe.
Yeah. So while you were talking, I remembered something. The truth is, people are very, what's that word now? They are easily captured by your confidence. Okay. So when you show guts, that's how you get people. You get. It's first about preparation. I just said that one. The man used to say to us in our meetings, he usually says life is a process of preparation and performance. Life is a process of preparation and performance. Now, what you do on stage of life is as a result of what you've gone, it's what you've been practicing all the while. Some people think, others are overnight successes. But the truth is, overnight success the way we seem to target overnight success is the result of long nights that people have worked hard. Okay? You're only seeing it as overnight success because this is when you started noticing him. This is when you started seeing his confidence in what he's doing. So you might start small and, you're not, being seen yet. But if you keep your guts, keep your confidence, keep showing up, the truth is people will start giving you attention. They say if you hang around the barber shop, you are going to get a haircut sooner or later. So that's it. Right? That's what I learned from that. So you begin to practice what you want to see in the future. You begin to live your future now because the truth is you're not going to change when you get to the future is like, that's you. That's you tomorrow. Okay. So it's not like you're changing tomorrow. It's that you're carrying who they say that, how did they put that now? You don't get to where you're going. You grow into where you're going. Okay. Something in that nature. Okay. So when you get to that, when you grow to that point that you want to see things, change around you, that's when actually you begin to see the change. You don't go there and then you see it happening. You grow into it and it begins to happen all around you. Okay. Yeah.
Like, okay, the way my mentor put it, he said, if you jump up, you come down, but when you grow up, you stay up.
Yeah, that's the word exactly. That's the way to put it.
So if you grow up, you stay up. So you need to grow into that future that you so desire. So you trying to jump into that future, you are trying to cut corners, or you want to do sandwich success. It doesn't work. You still see yourself going down. Like just how many seconds? You just stay off for a few seconds, but you are coming down. Like it's like a downslide.
So why not just sustainability?
So please. Grow. It's more sustainable. Thank you, Kelechi. So we have a few more minutes. Like, let me just draw from Kelechi. I'm enjoying this conversation with you.
Yeah, me too.
So let's go to legacy. That's the last part. So I love the fact that you said we should not justify it. Like, don't justify your wrong. You know, we are like somehow people like us, we used to fall, we are guilty. Then we say
People like,
sorry. Then
who
we
are
are
people like
we
you?
are a work in progress. Like we are getting better. You don't understand?
Yeah,
Like when
funny.
you're just talking, I like imagine, you were wrong, but still yet you want to explain your wrong action,
Yeah.
why you actually did it. Kelechi is telling us we should not do it. Kelechi.
Yeah.
Kelechi said, don't bother, check your ego.
Yeah.
So when you were actually talking and when you were talking about not justifying your wrong, you shared a story that actually stood out for me. Like,
Mm.
wait, how did you get there? Okay, Elizabeth says she has a question. Please go ahead. Yaga, I still remember you, so don't worry. I think we can work something out and bring you up. So, Elizabeth, please, you can drop your question. As me, I am asking Kelechi my own question too. So, Kelechi, you know when that person actually told you that you're better, and like, how did you get to this point that you could easily reset? That was it for me. Like, how did you get to the point that your shoulder pad was not high, like it became lower? Like, what
Mm.
what is your brokenness process like? I know it's a deep topic, but just give us summary. Like, how did you get to that point that you just knew that no, this is wrong? I just needed to tell this, but you are uniquely in grace. I'm not better than you. Everybody's unique. So how did you get to that point? Because that is not how you were
So
born.
I guess it's about what kind of memories do you want to live with? Do you want to live with the memory that what you said actually made somebody feel less or begin to have, inferiority complex? I cannot live with the fact that what I said to somebody made the person not be the best of themselves. Okay.
Hmm.
So it makes me very careful about what I say to people. Okay. So um, Miles Monroe said something: before you make any decision, think, do I want to remember? Is this the kind of memory I want to have? Do I want to
Yeah.
remember doing this thing? Okay. So because there's a point in your life you get to, and you might begin to regret some of the actions you took,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you took that action because of a temporary feeling. Maybe somebody made you angry, and out of anger, you just said something. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have that kind of memory that what you said actually hurts. Like I said, words are very powerful. You need to be
Yeah.
very careful how you use them. Words are not just powerful, they are like channels through which you communicate something to someone. Imagine you tell somebody they are not better or they are not good enough. Through that word, you've communicated something that forms their belief. The truth is, there's something I call disempowering beliefs. They are the kind
Okay.
of things that you, you, the kind of thought you have about yourself that affects if you take some specific kind of actions. Imagine, let's say for an instance, do you consider yourself to be successful enough to be a very good business person, to be a professor? Maybe because somebody told you when you were in your formative stages, when you were still struggling, your secondary, high school, and all, somebody's like, oh, you're not good enough, you're not smart. So that
Mm-hmm.
makes you think, oh, I'm not, if they are calling smart people, if they are trying to get smart people in a class, I shouldn't even be one,
Yeah.
thinking I'll be part of them. Just because of that word that person said to you, it formed your belief system, and you're like, no, I cannot be among the top. Let me tell you this short story. When I was in
Okay.
secondary school, so I didn't used to be among well, even the top 20 in class. So there was a time I was like, so what makes these people different? Why are they like this, people that always get recognition when it comes to performance academically? So I had to go close and then try to connect with some of these people. I mean, sometimes you be with them and you feel very less of yourself because, I mean, you're in a discussion, you're not contributing, right? It's because you think you're not good enough. But I started doing something. So I said I'm going to be good at one thing that
Mhm.
others are bad at.
Wow.
You get so. I
Yeah.
tried to, well, that was one course for me. So I tried to do something about that course every time. And with time, at some point I was like best in the class in that particular course. So now what I realize is people easily associate with success. So those people I used to have in high esteem began coming close to me
Yeah.
like, oh, we should find some time to spend together and read,
Yeah.
and, do. I was like, wow, these are like people I used to
Now maybe
idolize when it
this.
comes to academics. So you get, so that
Yeah.
very fact that I did that, made me realize, oh, I can be better at something. And that made me think of myself as being part of the top guys in the class, you get. So I moved from that belief system. Something again happened. I used to think, no, I cannot really, I don't have something to share with the world, right? Like, because I used to feel I was not successful enough to share something. So it was in a meeting that I thought, and this thought dropped into me, and it was like, the work of my mind is blessed. Okay.
Yeah.
So I held on to that thought. That was in 2016. And then 2017, I went for there's this what they call 6 months of internship when you're about to finish your school. And then during that internship
IT.
period, that thing was resonating in me. The work of my mind is blessed. So what that did for me is that whatever thought that enters my mind, I don't take it for granted anymore. So I write it down. Okay. So I keep writing things down I get from experiences, things down I get from inspiration. And in 2018, I wrote my book, and it was wow, like people really loved it. Okay, so when I launched it, and I kept getting responses, and like wow, so that was like a turning point for me.
Points.
Okay, when I realized, oh, the work of my mind is best. Now, bringing it back to well, our daily experiences, there are a lot of people that feel they cannot go global, like they are going to end up, not being very relevant in the world. Like, don't have that kind of belief. That's what I'm saying. You can be
Kill
anything
it.
you want to be, right? Kill it, yeah. So think
Bury it.
about yourself in terms of you can do what you want to do if you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter what people say, okay? And then for
Mm-hmm.
us ourselves, we should be careful what we tell people. That's where all these things started, right? Be careful what you say to people. And if you say something and just have that as a feedback mechanism. When you say something, think about that thing you said. Think about what you say before you say it. Then after you say it, think about that thing
The
you said.
impact.
That's how I was able to realize, oh, I just told somebody I'm better than you. No, I shouldn't have said that. So quickly, like I'm telling you, this thing happened in less than 5 minutes. I called him. I was like, don't ever allow anybody tell you they are better than you. Okay? You are
Yeah.
uniquely gifted. We are not the same. I might be good at this thing. I might look good at this thing, but the truth is, I do it differently. When you come, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do it differently too because you are uniquely gifted. Okay?
Wow. You're uniquely gifted. Like everybody, we are uniquely gifted. So nobody is better than you. You might be good
So,
at doing it this way. Like
mm,
Kelechi, thank you so much. It has
thank
really,
you.
really been like I said earlier, this is an explosion. They are just giving us back, back, back. King,
Thank
king,
you
king.
very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so, so much. Okay, so
Yeah,
you have one last question. This, which is
okay.
from Elizabeth. She said, what about if it is actually justifiable?
Hmm.
Which is
That's like
yes.
when we're talking about don't give excuse for why
Yes,
you know, did something
yes.
wrong.
That's when we're talking about check your ego, never justify when you're wrong.
Well, first of all, apologize. If the person wants to go further to know why you did what you did, then you can say it. Okay? So otherwise, the fact that something went wrong, take responsibility for it first.
Be
That's what I'm
responsible.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like before you start saying, I was not feeling fine.
Thank
I
you.
was I was down with fever. Before you start all of those, just say you're sorry. Like before you
Mm.
even start the explanation. And I think for me, if the person is not even asking for the explanation, don't give it. Not at
True. That's it.
that moment, not at the heat of the
Mm,
moment. The explanation
mm,
might come later, but at at the very, very intensive atmosphere.
yeah.
Sorry. the 5 magic words. I love those magic words. They do wonders.
Yeah,
Sorry, sorry does not make you less who you are.
true.
Like, sorry, please, thank you, excuse me, pardon me. Like, hello. All of these words are beautiful, and these words, they are like binders.
Yeah.
They've made they've made people, they've made relationship, they've restored peace, they've restored home. So just use them to create that beautiful magic. So that is
Yeah,
what I believe.
and
So,
don't make people feel pity for you. Don't put
mm,
yourself in a position where people should feel pity for you. If, like you're saying, oh, I was not able to come early because I woke up sick, you're trying to make the person feel some kind of pity for you. If the
feel,
person doesn't,
I
well,
feel bad.
I mean, you came late. That was the first thing is apologize that you came late. If you're saying it was because of this, it was because of that, that might not really be, well, it might be sickness that caused it, yeah, but it's your ego that is making you bring up sickness as an excuse, okay?
Mm.
Because you don't want to, you don't
Like,
want to take
it's still
responsibility
an
for the fact
excuse.
that it's still an excuse. That's the word, okay?
Oh, my
So,
car broke down. I was already on my way. My car, it is still an excuse.
yeah,
Like, I like,
yeah,
yes, your car broke down, but what if you've actually left earlier? You'll have been able to put measures in place, and you'll have gotten to that place you were going to much more
yeah.
earlier. So just avoid excuses. Thank
True.
you, Tekmo. Thank you, Elizabeth. I see my K-State people, they are repping their year. Thank you. And Change, I
Go,
also
wild
see
card.
you. Okay, thank you so much, Kelechi. So, do you have any last word for us? Because it is time.
Hmm. Last words.
Yes, your
Well,
final words for us. Your final drop of wisdom.
to everybody, I would say that, you know, you can always do and get what you want to do. You can do what you want to do and you can get what you want to get. My very soft spots are, helping people to realize that truly, yeah, you can be what you want to be. So there is no limitation to where you want to get to. Just have that in your mind that there is no limitation. The truth is, when you begin to, you keep working until you make the world your playground. Okay. Take for instance,
Yeah.
the Facebook guy, he was just trying to make something to connect people, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. So now Facebook is a big deal, like it's a world something, but this was this guy's playground. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's now formed what we know to be social media and all that. So, what you're thinking is not crazy. Well, even if it's crazy, the truth is, if it's not crazy, then it's not big enough.
I
Okay?
love that.
So, yeah, you
Yeah.
should not, you know, write off ideas that look crazy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, you keep doing it, and once you've gotten to a point where people begin to recognize it, then that's your playground. Keep doing it until it gets better. It might be hurting now, it might take a lot of discipline, but keep hurting until it begins to feel good. Okay? Keep
Oh,
doing it in discipline until it begins to feel good.
keep
And I wish you all
keep
the best.
doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it until it begins to feel good. Kelechi, so you have Kelechi there. This is Kelechi Igwe.
Yeah.
Like, the guy has been dropping a
Nice
lot
to
of
meet
wisdom
everyone.
nugget, like
Nice to
back
meet you
to
guys.
back,
Thanks, Dee.
back to
Thanks for
back.
having
No,
me, and thanks to
no,
everyone
like,
who joined.
you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome always. Like, I just know that I'm still going to bring you back. Like, there's so much I want to just be drinking
I'll
from
be
your
honored.
well
I
of
always
wisdom.
enjoy discussions like this, so
Yes,
you
like,
know
I
where
know
to
I'm still
find
going to
me.
bring you back. And I know a lot of people are going to watch this. We still come like, oh, we need to bring Kelechi back because no, that guy has something. Yes, Kelechi, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you,
I'm so glad
Dee.
to have
I'm
you in
more
my
proud of you.
corner.
I'm glad
I'm
to
so
be with
glad to
your
have you in my
amazing Dee.
corner. Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Like, you are so vast, you are so deep. That is the word for me. You are so deep. You know, when you just take something from the surface level and you just start dissecting it. You know, there's something you said. I forgot seeing how you actually put it. You said, if you want to start digging a hole, you start from the top. You start digging.
The only time you're digging a hole, that was Sam Chand. The only time you're digging a hole, the only time you start from the top is when you're digging a hole.
When you are digging a hole. That one is loaded. Okay, thank you so much, Kelechi. So this is where we draw the curtains for Chat with D. 10 lessons life taught me with Kelechi this evening. Hope that's been a great value.
Chat with D. Chat with D is always a good time.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Kelechi. So please, if you have questions for Kelechi or you like to engage further, do well to connect with Kelechi. It's Kelechi Igwe on Facebook. And I know he's on LinkedIn. I think it should be Kelechi Igwe. Am I correct?
Kelechi Igwe everywhere.
Okay, thank you. So it's Kelechi Igwe everywhere. I needed to confirm that because, you know, some people, names used to like alternate. So it's Kelechi Igwe on LinkedIn, it's Kelechi Igwe on Facebook. He's a seasoned speaker if you're looking for a guest, like to come and scatter the crowd. We are not coming to come and tell you you aspire to inspire to. We are going to share practical tips. We are going to share, like Kelechi is going to share practical tips, things that have worked. They are tested, they have tried them, and it has produced results. So those are the kind of nuggets you get from Kelechi. We don't aspire to, like, I saw a video that said, I think it was a lion and I've forgotten the animal, they were struggling. So my friend actually posted it and I said, we are the motivational speakers. This is what they tell you to do.
The lion was trying to fight maybe it was a deer or so. Was trying to fight a lion. So they were like, what would motivational speaker have told this deer that would make you want to encounter a lion?
Yeah. I saw that. I was just laughing. So thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Yaga. Yaga, we are going to have you. We bring you, like, we are going to discuss and organize a special session where you just come and share about African leadership and unity. I'm also looking forward to that conversation too. So to everyone that joined, thank you so much. And do have a wonderful evening. So my guests remain, your name?
Bye-bye.
My guests remain. You're supposed to say your name now. We are doing the answer here. My guests remain.
I'm Kelechi Igwe. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Some other time.
So I am Elisha Dorcas, your super amazing host. So bye-bye. Yeah. Bye-bye.